Antonio Rüdiger, once seen as the iron shield of Real Madrid's defense, has now become the target of criticism from the very fans who once cheered his name. After his loss of control during the Copa del Rey final, a wave of outrage has erupted across Germany. According to a large-scale poll with over 18,000 participants, 78% believe that the 32-year-old center-back no longer deserves to wear the Germany national team's shirt, the Mannschaft. From one act of uncontrolled emotion in club colors, Rüdiger is now facing questions that reach far beyond Madrid. Many German pundits are asking the same thing: can a player who behaves this way still be considered a representative of the dignity and image of the national team at the highest level? No one questions Rüdiger's footballing quality, but on that night at La Cartuja, he was no longer the rock of Madrid's defense. He became a ticking time bomb, and sadly, it exploded in the worst possible way. In the moment when Real Madrid fell after 120 tense minutes against fierce rivals Barcelona, attention should have turned to Ancelotti's outdated tactics or the referee's controversial decisions. Instead, the spotlight immediately shifted to one unforgivable moment: Rüdiger hurling an ice pack straight at referee Ricardo de Burgos Bengoetech. The issue was not only the throw itself. Rüdiger had already been subbed off. He was no longer on the pitch, yet he reacted like a hot-headed spectator, not like a Champions League winning international. This was a seasoned center-back, 32 years old, once a mainstay at Chelsea and a key face of the German national team. The image of Rüdiger raging, eyes wild, muttering curses as Ferland Mendy and the coaching staff tried to restrain him was one that stunned the football world. According to the referee's report, the German defender shouted directly into the official's face with words like, "You are garbage and you are a mistake of nature." If confirmed, that would constitute severe verbal abuse, an insult not just to the referee as an individual, but a blow to the professional image of the entire competition. The ice pack may not have hit its target, but the damage it caused cannot be undone. It struck at the honor of Real Madrid and at the fiery, fearless image Rüdiger once represented. But between passion and recklessness, the line was crossed, and it was Rüdiger himself who broke it. And sadly, he was not the only one to lose control that night. Lucas Vázquez, already substituted, ran straight from the technical area onto the field to scream in the referee's face. It was a night of disaster, not just because of the goal conceded in the 116th minute, but because Real Madrid lost something far more important: their composure. The night at La Cartuja ended with one of the most shocking moments of the season. Antonio Rüdiger, from cornerstone of the defense to the central figure in a major scandal. While Jude Bellingham ran toward the referee after the final whistle and received a red card, it was Rüdiger's ice pack throw that broke the dam. 1 minute of madness, and now he faces a suspension that could stretch up to 12 matches or even 6 months if it is deemed an attack on a match official. His season, and perhaps his standing with the national team, is collapsing in the worst possible way. Rüdiger has publicly apologized. "I have no excuse for what I did. I made a serious mistake." But no matter how sincere the apology may be, it cannot erase the violent image seen by millions on television. The fans, the coaching staff, his teammates, and the German Football Association all have every right to be disappointed. National team sporting director Rudi Völler made his view clear. As a national team player, he has to behave properly. If you want respect, you have to show respect. The problem is not the defeat itself. Real Madrid has lost before, and they will lose again. The issue is how they respond to those defeats. They once held their heads high and fought until the final second. Now, after that night in Seville, they walked off the pitch with a stain not easily wiped away. Instead of upholding the image of Real Madrid, Rüdiger has become a symbol of chaos, and the consequences are closing in. When you are a cornerstone of Real Madrid and have worn the Germany national team shirt nearly 80 times, every action carries weight not just for yourself, but for the entire team. With that single throw, Rüdiger has pushed everything into crisis. According to the rules, a punishment from the Spanish Football Federation is inevitable. If his actions are classified as minor violence, the suspension ranges from 4 to 12 matches. But if deemed assaulting the referee, the penalty could extend up to 6 months or even 1 full year if it is considered a serious threat. Whether it was ice or water, Throwing an object at a match official is no longer a matter of frustration, it is an intentional, deliberate act. And it does not stop there. Rüdiger is now facing a series of prior controversial actions, from the throat-slitting gesture aimed at Atletico fans, mocking Real Sociedad in the locker room with the song Viva Atletico, to verbally abusing the referee after the final. This is no longer about emotional outbursts. It is a repeated pattern of misconduct that can no longer be excused by a lack of self-control. And now the dominoes are falling. Rüdiger needs Rüdiger during the decisive stages of La Liga and the Club World Cup. Germany also needs him for the Nations League finals in June, but now he is recovering from knee surgery while also facing the risk of a long-term suspension. If the German Football Association wants to protect its image, Rüdiger could be excluded from the national team. Dietmar Hamann said bluntly, "I would not call him up." Lothar Matthäus has demanded a heavy punishment to set an example. Former referee Thorsten Kinhofer called Rüdiger's behavior a disgrace to German football. Some, like Gene Lemons, have tried to defend him, but ask yourself this: if this had been an unknown player, would anyone have been so forgiving? Yes, Rüdiger has apologized, but "I'm sorry" is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. You cannot act as if no one saw, then simply post a line on social media and expect it all to go away. In an age where every movement is captured on camera, you are accountable not only to the referee but to millions of fans, to the young players who look up to you, and to the honor of the nation whose badge you wear. Antonio Rüdiger's behavior was not just a moment of poor judgment, it was the result of believing you are above the rules, beyond the limits. And now he is facing the biggest storm of his career, one in which both club and country must ask the same question: does Rüdiger still deserve to represent them? If the incident at La Cartuja leads to his exclusion from the national team, then the consequences for Die Mannschaft are unavoidable. He has not only been the #1 center-back from the era of Hansi Flick to Julian Nagelsmann, but also a vocal leader, the kind of player who screams in his teammates' face to wake up the entire squad during a war on the pitch. The European Championship in 2024 is approaching fast, and his absence would leave a gaping hole. Matthias Ginter may not yet be back at his best. Niklas Süle is out of form, and the younger names like Bella Kotschap and Schlotterbeck still lack the calm and grit for knockout-level football. So why are Germans willing to drop a key figure like Rüdiger? Is it too harsh? No, it is because of something called national dignity. Since the 2018 World Cup, German football has not only been a competitive arena but also a stage for protecting image and identity. Remember the media storm when Mesut Özil and İlkay Gundogan posed for a photo with President Erdogan? It lasted an entire year. Or when Toni Kroos had to issue a formal apology for his comments about Qatar during the 2022 World Cup. These examples reveal how sensitive and strict the German media and public are about the conduct of their national team players. For them, honor is not a slogan, it is a standard of living. The word Ordnung, order, is the cultural foundation of Germany. Discipline, decorum, and zero tolerance for misconduct. A player who throws an object at a referee during a final, even if not wearing the national shirt, can still be seen as tarnishing the country's image on the global stage. Germany is not afraid to lose a star. What they fear is letting the image of the national team be dragged down by actions that spiral out of control. And Rüdiger, no matter how brilliant he is on the pitch, cannot be above that principle.